What's good? This is Elton Anderson Jr., aka Detroit Chopra, and I want to welcome you back to my show. Now I know it's been quite some time since the last time I recorded. I was down bad. Like just as simply as I could put, I was down bad. These last 3-4 months, I really needed myself. A lot of times we look for things that we need outside of ourselves, like, oh, I need a friend, or I need some money, or which you do need for sure, but I realized that I needed myself. And that's why this episode is called Almost 40, because I want to talk about the almosts in everybody's life. So I know people listening to this are almost 30. I know that people listening to this are almost done with their doctorate degrees, or almost getting married, or almost about to be a parent, or even almost paying off your student loans. Whatever your almost is, there's this period between the almost and the actually being that creates this really deep grieving period, because what you're doing is you're actively becoming the person, the identity. You're stepping into the new paradigm of your life. You're manifesting yourself ultimately, and at the same time you have to grieve and let go of the old version of you. And during that time, during that almost period, it is lonely. You'll start losing people. You'll start losing everything. You'll start having to let go, and then you just have to get to a point of surrender. And so for me, what that looked like was I had to realize that the main thing for me during this period was that I had to build a new foundation. And that's so hard to build a new foundation when you're on the run. And that's the truth that I had to find within myself. I have been on the run from myself for so long that I was scared to put my feet firmly down anywhere. And what happened was I thought Miami, and it still is, I thought Miami was going to be the place. And I got here to Miami, and I found a cute little apartment right on South Beach. And, I was getting my flow going. And just this past month, I go out of town for almost a week and some change, and I come back. I had a water leak in my apartment, and so Miami's humid. So the water leak caused mold to be everywhere. It was on my clothes. It was mold in my vents on my bed. It was just ridiculous. So I had to move out because mold will kill you. Right after the mold incident, after I have to move everything out within 2 days, I get COVID. So I've been dealing and battling with COVID. And again, thank God that it wasn't a bad case of COVID, but I got COVID. I don't know if it was Omarion variant or whoever, but I got the COVIDs, and first time. And so had to battle that. And so I was just really down on myself. I was like, maybe I'm not supposed to be here in Miami. Maybe, universe telling me I ain't supposed to be here. And what ends up happening is I say I'm going to move to Brazil. And when I told my family I was moving to Brazil, I was supposed to move, like, today is December 5th. So it's exactly 90 days before my 40th birthday on March 5th. And I was going to be in Brazil, had this idea that I was going to spend the 90 days just focusing and being on the run again, essentially. And I had to have a really deep conversation with myself. I said, Elton, it's not about running. It's about finding the balance. It's about balancing this new Elton that you're trying to become, that you are becoming. And it's grieving the old Elton that you were. And to have to do that simultaneously, it was something that I didn't think I could handle here. But what I realized is that I really want to, when I think about my foundation, when I think about myself at 40, I think about being here in America. So I decided not to get on the plane. I literally bought a ticket, and I had to cancel it like 6 hours before I left yesterday, before I was supposed to leave yesterday. And I decided to stay. And so as I decided to stay, this is a huge testament for me, because this is making the test that I had for myself over the next 90 days even more difficult. And I want to give myself a couple of birthday gifts. And the number one birthday gift I want to give myself is consistency. I have not been consistent in my life, but especially these last couple of years because I've been, learning about all these different teachings. I've been raising my consciousness, working on my vibration, and really studying energy work. And I was, it felt like I was in this void. I felt like I was in this void. I felt like I was in purgatory between who I was and who I am. And I didn't want to get back in front of this camera, in front of this microphone until I had some kind of foundation. And I'm excited and happy to share the new foundation that I'm building within myself. And that new foundation, that new identity that I'm stepping into is as an energy reader. And I've been reading energy on the low forever, since I was 6 years old. Because let me tell you something, as a gay black man, as a gay man, period, you have to always be extra aware. So I've been knowing I was gay since I was 6 years old, right? You have to be aware of so much stuff because you do not want people to know that you're gay. So what happens is that you learn to become the best actor in the world, and you know to see like, okay, can people tell? What are people thinking? And maybe it's because I'm also a Pisces. Pisces, we're super intuitive. We're like, and I'm not only a Pisces, but I'm a Pisces sun, a Cancer moon, and a Scorpio rising. So all water, super duper deep. Like you can't get more intuitive than I think that combo. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to hype myself up, but I just remember being young and always having, in a sense, to read the energy of the room because I was hiding this deep, dark secret. And so you just get used to it. You just get used to wearing this mask. You get used to always being alert and aware. And I think that combined with just my natural star astrology design kind of helped me to naturally be intuitive and also naturally just learn how to read energies. And then as you go into the next part of my life, as I went to college and I wanted to work in sales. And so sales is kind of like the same thing. I worked for pharmaceutical sales company, Pfizer, back in the day, back in like 2005. And when I worked there at sales, you have to be able to read the energy of the people that you're selling to because everybody needs to be sold differently too. And my method of selling isn't like, hey, you need to buy this. My method of selling is more so based around like doing a dance with somebody. So every time I interact with somebody, I would always do like this little dance. Sometimes the dance may be a quick little two-step. Sometimes, and this is all theoretical dancing. And sometimes the dance may be the wobble, wobble, y'all know the wobble, girl. And then sometimes the dance might be like a waltz or whatever it is. You just kind of pick up on what people want from you and what people want to give you. And so through sales, then I transitioned to becoming a photographer. And so photography was really, really a showcase for building up energy and building up my experience and my practice as an energy reader. Because when you're shooting somebody, when I used to shoot weddings, I would shoot celebrities, I would shoot campaigns, models, whoever you shoot. When you shoot and you're taking pictures of somebody, you can't tell that person to get comfortable. I can't look at you and say, hey, get comfortable. That's not going to work. You have to make people feel comfortable. And the only way you can make people feel comfortable is you have to give off comforting energy. And so I developed that skill of being able to read energy as a photographer. I didn't even realize it. I didn't even realize it till like recently. But I would have to look into the eyes of some of the biggest celebrities in the world, like Puff Daddy, Kelly Rowland, Erykah Badu, who had me shook. Erykah Badu's energy had me like, bruh, I need a break because you have intense energy. And so even in shooting all these celebrities, you can see their insecurities, you can see like their pain sometimes, and I would be having these like deeply energetic connections with these big name celebrities that I'm huge fans of. And it would be the same type of exchange with a bride on her wedding day. You know, a lot of men, a lot of grooms, they don't like being in front of the camera, but they do it for love. And so I'm looking at people getting married. I'm like, y'all gonna last. And I'm telling you, this is how I know I can read some energy, because I shot probably, I would say I shot close to like 40 or 50 weddings. And about 30% of those marriages ended. And I guessed every single marriage that was going to end, every single one, because I could see the energy. And so as I've been like practicing this, not even knowing that I've been practicing becoming an energy reader, I stumbled upon a self-knowledge system called human design. Now, I think a big part of this was my spiritual awakening and me letting everything go, and that was a call for me to like start stepping into this new Elton, this new energy. And then the universe was like, but Elton, you need something practical to help people with too. You just can't be like, oh, your energy's good, your energy's bad. I think that I know that I found human design, or human design found me, because this is the method that I was meant to help people really understand how your energy interacts with this experience that we call life. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be in training to be a human design expert. You may have heard about human design if you follow this podcast closely, when I did an episode with my girl Jazz, the Moon Mother, and she is like my biggest mentor when it comes to human design. And she cracked my mind open during that episode. It's an episode called You Are God. So definitely make sure you listen to that. But when I was introduced to human design, I became obsessed. And so that's what I've been spending a lot of these last 4 months doing. I've just been in my bag, in my cocoon, just studying and practicing this beautiful magical tool called human design. So let me give you a little bit of a background behind human design. Basically, human design is a self-knowledge system that uses a lot of ancient wisdoms like astrology, I Ching, the Kabbalah, the chakra system from Hindu, and even quantum physics. And it mixes all of those together, and it's developed to show you exactly how your energy is being experienced here on this earth, in this reality. Because you already know, I am huge in believing that we are spiritual beings having this human experience. And you might need a little map. You might need a little guide to help you understand how you individually, as you're experiencing this individual experience, how you can work more smoothly and work more flow and harmony with the world. Because I was going through it, and this has helped me since I've been living by my human design. It has, I don't even have to tell you how it changed my life. You'll just see it. I'm just going to share. I'm just going to show how this has changed my life, because I'm a visual learner, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. And so some of the basics of human design is that there's 5 different type of energy and auras that exist. And so the 5 types are manifestors, which make up about 8% of the population. Then you have generators, which I am, and generators are about 33% of the population. You have manifesting generators, which are another about 32% of the population, and they're like the hybrid between manifestors and generators. And I would say they're like they have the most superpowers, because they take a little bit of both as they operate through this world. Then you have projectors, which are like the seers. They're the seers. They're almost like the aliens, if you will, of the human design system. And then finally you have the reflectors. And we're going to take this journey together about human design. You'll be hearing about that. I'll be weaving it into every part of this platform, but I'll also be bringing you the same lessons and teachings that I'm downloading from my higher sense of consciousness and my source. But nonetheless, I'm so excited about this human design. And like I said earlier, I want to give myself the gift of consistency. And I think that consistency is such a beautiful energy because the more consistent I am, I'm showing respect to myself. I'm showing myself that I love myself enough, but I'm also showing respect to you all because I'm like, I know that we've made this silent contract that I'll consistently give you podcast episodes. I'll consistently share with you what I'm learning, and I'll consistently be there for you as you're navigating your own personal and spiritual journeys. And I just want to make sure that that's the birthday gift, that's the exchange that we're doing. So I said I wasn't ready to come back until I knew I could be consistent and I knew that I could give something that can really truly help so many people, because the way it's helped my life is I can't even begin to talk about it. So I'm excited about that, but I'm also excited about breaking into becoming an entrepreneur. And I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur my whole life. Like I've always wanted to be like a mogul. I've always, like, they used to call me Cash when I was younger because I used to be about that business. I used to be shoveling snow, raking leaves. What we doing? How we getting money? I've always wanted to have that identity of an entrepreneur. And, you know, I did it with some projects and production companies I started, whether it's Creators of Color and my photography career. However, I needed something to touch my soul. Like I needed a business that was going to make me money because love a coin, but I also needed a business that was going to fulfill me. And I was getting that kind of, but it wasn't really hitting like it needed to hit. And so now with this, I'm like, okay, this is touching my soul in ways that I can't even explain. And even this podcast, like one of the things that have been so beautiful is that, you know how Spotify does the year in review and they tell you like, this is the number one songs you've been listening to and everything like that. So many people tagged me in Detroit Chopra podcast as their number one podcast. And I'm like, I didn't even know y'all was listening like that. And every time somebody would post it, it would just be such a confirmation and an affirmation that something is going on here with this energy exchange. And so when I get those confirmations and I get those reflections of love and the exchange of value that we have with each other, I said, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to be in this position to help people through my voice and my experiences for the rest of my life. Now we got to figure out how to turn this into some money. And that's the journey I'm going to take you guys on too. I'm showing you how to build a heart-based business, because this is me operating from my heart. This is also me manifesting a business from my soul. This is me manifesting myself. And so I think there's no better way than to learn how to build a business than to go on a journey with me. If I'm taking you on a manifestation journey, then we can do it together. And I want to be very, very open. That's the third thing I want to give you guys is the truth. I want to always tell the truth. I want to always have a sense of integrity to everything I say so that my words and my actions are completely aligned. So as I go on this journey as an energy reader and as I go on this journey as a human design expert, I am so excited to be doing readings for people. I'm starting a company. I've started a company called Abundance by Design. And so it's my coaching business where I coach people through their design and I show you how you can attract more abundance into your life, how you can attract some healthy relationships. So human design is really good. I think it's a really good matchmaking opportunity. So I'm going to delve into that and show people how to find and attract the love energy that they need, the romantic love energy. We're going to do some energetic readings on different celebrities. I already got 3 that I'm going to do, and I'm super excited about that. We're going to talk a lot about astrology. We're going to get deeper into astrology because I'm going to save that. I got another business I'm dropping, but I got a couple of businesses that are playing in the reality that I currently live in. Because if you remember from the 3D versus 5D episode, like I just am not built to deal in the 3D world. Like the 3D world is filled with all these rules and all these things that I just never really resonated with me. So I'm like, you know what? Let me show y'all my world. That's what I want to do. I want to share my world. Shout out to Miss Mary J. Blige, but I want to share the world that I see it. And, you know, it's a lot of fun over here. It's a lot of fun in this world. And more than anything, it's a place, it's a community that I want you guys to be able to step out of whatever griefs or problems you have. I want you to laugh. I want you to learn. I want you to love yourself a little bit more. And that's the pure intention of this platform. So I'm going to bring it to an end because there's going to be so much more. I have so many episodes that I'm doing and so many things that I'm sharing, but I just wanted to tap in with you and make sure that if you're almost something at this point in your life, just know that you can make the decision at any moment to step into being who you want to be. So right now I'm 40 and I'm going to operate exactly in the energy and the vibration of my higher self and who I want to be at 40. And that person is somebody that I am falling in love with every single day. So with that, I want to say thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for everybody who sent me their Spotify breakdown with Detroit Chopra at the #1 spot. I want to say thank you to everybody who's given me grace for when I've been in my cocoon for these last couple months and just check in on me. So many people have just checked in and just say, hey, LT, you've been quiet lately. I want to see if you're okay. And every single time that just touches my soul because I am still building this foundation, and it's beautiful to know that once it's built, I can invite so many people onto this new foundation and we can have a good time. So I'll check you guys on the next episode. And remember, your energy and your vibe is always going to be the most important thing. So make sure you honor that. Love you guys, and we'll talk soon.